everyone, it's Wendy's Wednesday. Welcome to the Scottish Quilter. Nice to see you all back again. How are you doing? How are you doing? I'm good. I've had a really good couple of weeks, a busy couple of weeks. I've got some things to show you. I've got lots still to do, but I've managed to do a few things over the weekend. I've also been to the Scottish Quilt and Craft Show, is that what it's called? The Scottish Craft Show. There's one on at the SEC in March, and there's loads of quilts and everything at it, and it's really, really good and really quite big for the SEC. We go there every year, and we always used to go to the craft show in October and the Country Living Christmas Fair in November. However, a couple of years ago they combined them both, and now I don't think the Country Living Christmas Fair are doing it now, but some of the stall holders are still there, so there's still lots of good things to be had. Now, one of these really good things to be had is the fine French linen company run by a lovely Australian lady called Fiona. I've been to a few of her stalls at a few craft fairs, one down in Birmingham in August too, where I got some stuff, and she does the most beautiful French linen, chambray, 100% cotton, just lovely, lovely stuff. And I've got a few samples to show you. These are things that I've bought over the last couple of years. I have made a few quilts, a few baby quilts. Some of them are still to be quilted, some of them are still to have backing on them. My big one's still to be quilted. It's a bit done, lots to do, but I'll show you that in weeks to come. Anyway, predominantly she does things in 3 different colours. We've got some purple. Now, if you can see up close, this is a pack of 10 fat quarter bundles, and you can see them all there. They're just lovely. I've got quite a lot of this actually. I took a lot of it away with me at the weekend, but I didn't get to using it yet. So this is just to let you see the colours. I hope you can see it here. The other colour she does is pink. This is some of the pinks that I've used already. There's a really nice, it's this kind of chambray there. Deeper pink, paler pink, lots of, there's a spotty one which is quite good. Again, you can get this in a fat quartered bundle, 10 fat quarters. There's, you can see yourself the quality of this. I've also got some backing, pink backing for baby quilts. Here's another one. I actually really like that one, that's quite nice. And blue. So again, same, I like this one. This one's lovely. There's a few lovely ones. In fact, there's not actually any I don't like. And again, I've done a couple of these, but these will come out in time to come. There's a few greys in that blue pack as well, so you can get grey. That's a bit big for a fat quarter. It must be a ½ metre, that one. Here's another one. You can see how beautiful these are. And stripes. Great for borders, great for binding, great for backing if you keep it straight. Anyway, that's a few things. There'll be a wee short clip of our time up in Glasgow. You can see Anne talking to Fiona when we were buying some things at our stall. So that's all about Fiona. I want to tell you about our weekend away. Anne and I booked a long time ago to go to Denim to a crafting retreat, and I took my denim quilt with me. I also took some fabric that I spent about 2 afternoons cutting out so that I was good to go. Took lots of spares and took some hand sewing, some Liberty hand sewing. I'll show you about that. But let me show you my big denim quilt. This is the Missouri Star Heirloom quilt, and I have almost finished it. I decided to do something completely different with the binding, which I'll explain, and the quilting, which I'll also explain. But anyway, here it is. You'll see it in all the pictures and at the beginning and at the end, and the video that we took when we were up at Benmore. So we went to this quilting retreat for 4 nights. We went away last Thursday. The weather was shocking. The flooding all over the place all the way there. It took us about 3 hours maybe to get there. We did stop at Largs for a cup of coffee en route and 20 minutes in the boat, which was good. Straight off the boat, straight down to the guest house, and I have honestly never stayed in a nicer guest house. The attention to detail, the food, the care, everything that you possibly could need staying away was there without asking. Great, we had a great weekend, and we've booked to go away again next year. The guy who runs it, Ken, is really busy, and hopefully he'll do it for a few more years yet before he eventually retires. Hopefully he won't retire, but we'll talk him into always having us back again every autumn. So it was really nice getting there, having some lovely homemade shortbreads, really nice coffee for Madam, and it was warm. There was 4 of us there. We met a couple of ladies, both from around about Glasgow, both working away hard. We all had our sewing machines in. Interestingly, 4 big sewing machines, 4 different kinds. Lots of stories to tell, loads of laughs. One of our friends asked us if Denim was ready for us, and would Denim be ready for us when we arrived over there. Anyway, we were very good. A little gin in the afternoon about 4 or 5 o'clock, just one, and it was good. It just was really good. So we worked away, and during that time I managed to get this denim quilt quilted. So there was much debate over what to do, and so in the original film when I watched this, Jenny had her one and she quilted round about her squares, but then in another one they were talking about just doing spaghetti all over, and that would hold the embroidery in. Now I wasn't keen on doing that because something inside keeps telling me maybe a needle will pop that thread and it will pop out, and it will wreck it. So, and there's no way fixing it because it doesn't come through the back, does it? So I did some practices with some fancy stitches on my machine, and I'll try and hold this up so that you can see it the right way up that I've done it. Actually, must be this side because I always made sure I went down the same side first. Right, so if you look at this side on, you'll see it's quite a nice wee different stitch. So I just used my foot and I didn't use a walking foot either. Contrary to what we should be doing, I didn't use it, didn't really like it. So I used the foot, and I used the side of the foot to measure out where I was doing, and kept that the same all the way around, hopefully making it even all the way around. And then I decided before I finished and put the binding on that my big debate was, do I do a label in the back? Do I get a label printed and sewn in the back? And I thought, I don't want to do that. I've embroidered it all for a year. So I thought, I'm just going to embroider it. So I did. And anyway, it's okay. But I also put on, there's my phone beam. What's that called? White heather. Lucky white heather. So that's Scottish. A wee Irish 4-leaf clover for luck. And then I thought, and I need to do it in 3s. Everything has to be done in 3s. So I did a daisy, because Daisy is my nickname. Daisy Lanes is the prefix for the dog breeding business. And to this day, a certain Mr. G still has me as Daisy on his phone. So, nod to Daisy. Then Anne came up with a brilliant idea, and she thought, instead of doing more quilting in the middle, because I said, if it's not enough and it pops up in the middle, I could maybe put a stitch through here and then it would come through the back and you would see it through the back, wouldn't you? so then Anne says, well, why don't we get some buttons? So there's bees and there's dragonflies and there's lots of wee different insects and things all over this. So off we sets again to the fabric and button and haberdashery and yarn shop just along the road, walking distance, didn't even need my stick. And we walked along and saw the lovely Deborah. The shop is called Ginty and Ba, after Deborah and her mum. I think it's been going about 10, 11 years. And Deborah has everything in the shop that you could possibly need. So we were there Friday. We were going back for something Saturday after a new Tilda package. No, Tulip Pink package was opened up. So we saw that. I got a binding. And then it was closed Sunday. Oh yeah, Saturday afternoon I had to run back because I needed thick denim navy blue thread. Anyway, I got one, it was far too thick, but luckily one of the other quilting ladies had navy blue with her, which was going to do for the back, so that was fine for my bobbin. And then Monday morning, shop open 9:30, I think we were there at 9:33. So we went in and I looked for bees, I got 2, I needed 16. We saw silver hearts, we saw, what else did we see? Lots of wee interesting things, some baby buttons, and then eventually I saw daisies and I thought how appropriate. So I have 16 little daisy buttons to sew in between the squares in here. So that's still to be done. But then I had the trouble of binding. Now, most people do 2.5 inch binding, iron it in half, and you either sew it down on the front, turn it over to the back, hand sew the back, job's done. Or sew it on the back, turn the good side over to the front, and machine sew it down on the front. But it often comes through the back, as you can see. So then I thought, oh, right, what am I going to do? I don't want to do that. And I thought, what if I made a 3 inch binding and I halved it and I pressed it down, and then I opened it up and I put the 2 sides in, and then I pressed all that again. So, and then I just sat it all the way around the edge of the quilt after I'd obviously trimmed all the quilt and everything. Put it around the edge, put on the wee quilting clips all the way around, and then put it in my machine and did this daisy flower stitch. And I thought, that's fab, I really liked it. Until I got to the corner, and then you can't do what you normally do with a mitered corner. So here I had to cut this one, and I've got this one here that's hanging a bit over. But I thought if I just cut this, so if you keep that like that and you trim it, here's a pair of scissors, and you trim it about, that's probably too much actually, almost 1/2 inch maybe, trim that off. Then if you tuck in here, so you can see how I pressed that, look, so it's all pressed like that all the way around, can you see? But if I tuck in here, and then this end is cut flush-ish, flush, and he's cut done in a bit more, so probably 1/4 inch would be enough. Put it on there and hand sew it, just needs a wee bit neater, but hand sew it, then it would finish like that, and then I could maybe put it back in my machine. Maybe I'd probably get it stuck, or I could just try and hand sew a wee daisy in the corner. So this is still to be done, but I am so pleased with this. And as I say, one day one of the girls hopefully will want it. I've already had I want that, so you can all guess who maybe said that. but they can fight over it when they're older and I'm not here, or maybe one of my grandchildren will get it. Right, more things to tell you. So the other thing I took with me was, I took, first of all, this lovely little carrier with handles that comes from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. Now, I bought, a few months ago, I bought 2 packets of these. They come in a packet of 4. And if I can reach over, I'll show you all you get in a packet of 4. So, it comes, these are all inside one another. I can't remember how much it was, but I got it when it was on special. So, if you have a look out, in fact, it's Black Friday week, you might find some deals on the Missouri Star. It is about £50 delivery to come to the UK. However, you gain a lot by getting daily deals and things. So, and it is only £50 delivery. You don't have customs charges, which a lot of these other companies do. £50 okay, actually, when you think of it all. So, you get the big one. Inside is the next one. And then inside this, another colourful one, and then a wee one. Right, now to give you an idea of the size of the wee one, I also took with me some Liberty and some paper piecing. So in this, I have got thread, a magnet, a Sew Tights magnet and needle for holding this together, and I've got 50 2.5 inch Liberty squares, which I have glue basted together. So this is another little project that I can do with hand sewing. I've got some, that looks like invisible thread. I don't know why that's in there, but anyway. So it just shows you the size that you're getting for these, and they're actually great for going in a retreat, for carrying things, to keep things tidy. Not that if you look at this room, you would see that it was tidy. However, I just thought I'd show you. Great deal. Great buy. Maybe one day I can make some, but for now, Missouri Star it is. So, with the big one, I took with me some, this is Tilda fabric. This is Tilda's Christmas fabric. And this is a quilt squares pattern that Rachel from Stitch with Rachel made up these squares and showed us the pattern. Now, I have something funny to show you. I'll show you that at the end. Anyway, so she very kindly gave us the measurements. If you want to watch her, she's on YouTube. She's almost got 100,000 followers. What did I say? She's got 100,000 followers, nearly. So, like and subscribe, please, for Rachel, because I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Anyway, she's really good at lots and lots of different things. So, one of them is this Tilda fabric that she got, and she has shown, oh, please, what? Yeah, here we go. She showed us how to make it and gave us the measurements. So, I had got the same fabric, I think it was at the NEC, Tilda's range, Christmas fabric, and I made all these wee stars. Now, how gorgeous is that? Fussy cut that fat quarter out, and this one. It was kind of difficult because I was only getting 8 or 10 from each fat quarter, and I went to go in and get more, an update, but everything was sold out. I've used different colours of cream grunge in the background. But how cool are these? And I was doing this on Saturday and thinking to myself, I've not made a mistake in this quilt, because I always make a mistake. I always make a mistake somewhere along the line. And this one's quite cute, polar bear. But I just love him. How lovely is that Santa? So yeah, I thought, I've not made a mistake yet. This is going well. Haven't made a mistake in the denim quilt yet. And then on Sunday morning, was it Sunday morning? Monday morning, I was giving them all a damn good press. and I see this. And I thought, So it's very obvious what's happened here, but just in case you don't spot it straight away, you can see this is called a flying geese unit here, and you'll see that that has been flipped and it should be facing out the way like the rest of them are. Anyway, no, Wendy's sewn it on back to front and not even noticed. So then it's pieced here, it's pieced to here, pieced there, and then it's all pieced along here. So it would be a dead easy fix. I just need to take that border off, take this out, sew it back on, obviously the other way around about, sew back on the border, give it another damn good press, and job's a good one. So I thought to myself, I don't want to fix it. Nothing's perfect in this world, so you'll never get a quilt that's perfect. I will never get a quilt that's perfect, and even if I do, I'll look at it and think, that's the perfect quilt, and I don't have any perfect quilts. So I think I will leave it as it is, put a backing on it, hand quilt it. That's what I'll do. I'll hand quilt it and I'll put it up on the wall to remind me, just up there, that nothing is perfect, because it isn't. Nothing is in this world. And would you want it to be? I don't really know if I would or not. So anyway, this weekend I am going to take some different things with me, and I'm going away for the weekend with my girls. It's been about 20 years since we've all been away for a weekend, and at that point they were children, and we didn't have Skylar, and now we've got Skylar, my 10-year-old granddaughter. So me, my 3 girls and my granddaughter are going up to a lake or loch near Stirling. I can't remember where, but they've got there. I'm not driving, fine. We'll get there Friday afternoon, and I'm leaving Neil at home again. He's on, but it's just for 2 nights this week. And Lexi's here to help him, so she'll get all the work done outside and it'll be fine. We'll be home on Sunday afternoon and it will be fine. But then the following weekend, the boss is getting away for a night, so that's good. Sheepdog Christmas night out, which is really good every year, as you can imagine. So singing and dancing this weekend. If my granddaughter can teach me how to do a certain dance. Does everybody know the Nathan Evans dance? Or one of them? Well, we'll see if I can do it. Can't walk without a stick very far, but we'll see if I can do the dance. So there might be lots of takes and it might be quite funny. It's going to be quite funny. Next week, I'll show you the update on the Tilda Christmas quilt, or quilts, because I might not make a big one. We should have a finish, complete finish on the denim one. I have a needle in here somewhere. I've got 2 ends done and 2 to do, and I've just got the buttons to sew in, but there's the 2, so there's a corner done, finished, sticking out a wee bit. Not perfect. We don't do perfect. And I've got these 2 to finish. So it'll be what it'll be, but it'll be mine. And it'll be the way I made it, and it'll be the way it's meant to be, because in this life, things are the way they are meant. You just have to have faith that that's going to be the way it is. My plan for the weekend is to do some hand sewing whenever we're sitting at night and chatting and chilling, and I would quite like to make a cantha quilt. Does anybody know what a cantha quilt is? Basically, it's quilts that are made in India and Africa by hand and stitched by hand. Now, I've never hand stitched anything, well, quilt-wise, or done any hand quilting, so I'm going to give it a bash. I've got some South African fabric, but it's quite stiff. So I'm thinking of maybe washing it and giving it a damn good press. cutting it up into rectangles maybe. I have got some nice muslin for a backing, and you're supposed to use a really thin piece of fabric in the middle. Well, I found some thin, don't know what it is, but it's paisley pattern and it's no me. So it can go in the middle. We'll see how that plans out. Here's the bottle. And I'll maybe try some hand quilting at the weekend if I get the top put together. But I've only got tomorrow, a few hours tomorrow, unless I do the night shift at some point. But you never know. Could be 4 in the morning, could be 2 in the morning. Might sleep for the next 2 nights. Who knows? So we'll see what I can do, and I will update you all next week. Have a lovely weekend, and if you get this far, please, 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 thumbs up, because thumbs up are good. Look, can anybody else do this with their thumbs? This is a genetic thing. Our Steph's got hypermobility syndrome, because we talked about syndromes a lot when she was wee, but anyway, that's another story. So, thumbs. Like and subscribe. Please leave a comment if you like. Oh, and do you like my nails for the weekend away? Toes too, like this one. Please like and subscribe. Add a comment. What else for you to do? Oh yeah, thumbs up. Thumbs up, bendy thumbs. Okay, have a lovely weekend. Love you all. Bye bye.